I was driving through the city over the weekend, and while stopped at a red light, a ragged-looking man with a cardboard sign approached my car. The sign said, "Homeless and hungry, anything helps." I was struck by a variety of complicated feelings, as I sat there with only one thing on my mind. Where do homeless people get Sharpies? Think about it. They cost like $2 or so. Maybe I'm discrediting the potential economic competency of your average, "Hey man, can I get $1?" dude on the street, but even then, I have to figure out where they got the startup capital. And then he must have sat there and came up with a business case to convince himself. The thinking must go like this. I've got enough for one double cheeseburger, but if I invest this in a single Sharpie marker, create a well-branded sign, take it to market on a sufficiently busy corner, with the right pitch, the ROI could be 10 to 20 double cheeseburgers in as little as a week. Maybe the fine folks at the Sharpie Corporation distribute the markers among the homeless population as part of their philanthropic mission. Sharpies, they're not just for drawing Hitler mustaches on your passed out friends. Today, on Please Excuse My Dead Aunt Sally. This shirt isn't gonna tuck itself. And part 3 of our 22-part series on people with messy cars. Seriously, clean your fucking car. Oh, I'm sorry, are a dozen empty water bottles good luck in your culture? Let's get started today with our first prize. Curtis from Austin, Texas, correctly identified the Morse code message hidden in episode 2. The message included instructions for baking a carrot cake, but instead of carrots, the secret ingredient is Tide Pods. Curtis wins 2 tickets to see Yellow Bedwetter, a children's choir tribute to Pearl Jam. And now for some listener questions. To have your question read on the air, write to pleaseexcusemydeadauntsally at gmail.com. Our first question comes from Heather in Missoula, Montana. Hey Mike, at Panera, they really stress the cage-free eggs in their salads. Does the cage really make that much of a difference? Well, if you didn't order the salad with cage-free eggs, your salad would likely come with arugula, pumpkin seeds, and a little wooden cage filled with hard-boiled eggs. I've asked Panera to offer egg cages made of croutons or even pretzels. I've not yet heard back, but you'll be among the first to know when I do. Now is a perfect time to mention this week's sponsor, Bela Lugosi's Bread, now offering breakfast including white-on-white translucent black crepes and red velvet pies. Don't eat alone in a darkened room. Eat at Bela Lugosi's Bread. Yum bread, yum bread, yum bread. Our next question comes from Victoria in Astoria, Oregon. Victoria asks, is it best to pay down your debts starting with the highest interest rate or with the lowest balance? Great question, Victoria in Astoria. The truth is, considering the number of asteroids heading toward Earth at this very moment, I wouldn't bother paying on any of your debts at all. Spend that money on liquor and candy and other short-term happiness items. Reevaluate your situation in 5 months or so. If the Earth is still here, then I say panic anyway. Our final question today comes from Tobias in St. Louis, Missouri. Tobias writes, Hey Mike, when I got home from the grocery store, I found an extra item in the bottom of my bag. This wasn't something I bought. It wasn't even on my list. It turns out it is a small electronic unit that serves as a communication device for a group of aliens who visit Earth frequently, but is also a dangerous weapon to another group of aliens who visit Earth a little less frequently. Do I turn it over to the Greys and hope for the best, or do I contact the reptilians and beg for forgiveness? Well, Tobias, just to be clear, I haven't chosen sides. But come on, the Greys have had their day. Peaceful reptilians, while very rare, are certainly the side to be on these days. Experimentation only hurts a little, and who knows if death is even real. Well, that's our show for today. Join me next week for a live show where I drive around frantically looking for one of those old film developing kiosks in the middle of a shopping center parking lot. Music for this episode was Deuces and In Your Arms by Kevin MacLeod. Follow the show on Instagram under username pleaseexcusemydeadauntsally.
Hey, you're a fucking idiot. We're all doing that. Bye-bye.